Wow, it's doing a good job in the corner. You can extend that side brush and the mop pad. Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do the unboxing, how to set up, and the first look, the first cleaning on this brand new Ecovacs T50 Pro Omni Robot Vacuum Cleaner. Sometimes they call it the D-Bot. Now, I did buy this with my own money and I wasn't paid for this video. I spent $600 on this. Right now it's $639, but I did buy it when it was on sale for Amazon Prime days. Now, I will put a link to it in my show description notes if it earns the Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. As you can see over here, the Ecovacs X9 Pro Omni has not earned that sticker yet, but the Ecovacs N20 did. And you can find all the robots that I approve of and have my sticker seal of approval at justadadapproved.com. If you click on a link in my description or on my website, I'm a Walmart, Amazon, and a YouTube affiliate. If you click on those links, the products don't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. It's a way of helping support my YouTube channel. That way I can continue to buy these robots and give you my honest opinion. Now in this video, we're going to put it all together. I'm going to add the water. We're going to connect it to our smartphone, map our house, edit the map, give you my recommended settings, and then we'll see how it cleans the world famous Just a Dad corner cleaning over here by mopping it and cleaning the corner. Okay, so here's everything that comes in the box. We do get a really nice manual. We get this brush we're going to have to install, power cord. We've got this ramp. We're going to install the ramp on the base station. Make sure it clicks into place, and this is nice and flush. We have a clean water tank and a dirty water tank. And here's the robot. So let's talk about the base station, and then we'll move over to the robot. Now around back, the power cord is 6 feet long. We do have to plug it in, and there's a power switch. So make sure it's in the down or the line position. That's on, that's off. So we got to plug this in. Make sure you seat that all the way. Yeah. And again, the power cord is 6 feet long. It's kind of stiff. And let's take a look at the amperages. You can plug it into 110, 120 volts, 50 or 60 hertz, 4.5 amps when it's emptying, 12 amps when it's hot water mop washing, 1 amp when it's just charging. Around back there is kind of like this carrying handle. Front to back about 18.5 inches. Left to right 13.25. Height wise, it's right at 20.5 inches, but you do have to lift these up about, you have to be able to lift it up about 1.5 inches more so that you can get the water bottles out. So again, this is the clean water tank. Let's take a closer look. You're going to fill this up with just clean water. It's got this clean water symbol here. Pinch that tab, open it up. There is a float. It's going to let you know when your clean water is empty, and there is a little filter at the bottom of this intake tube. Looks like the dirty water tank is the same size. Open it up. A float to let the machine know when this is full. And here's what the tubing looks like. Okay, now let's turn our attention. This is where it's going to wash the mop pads. There was some tape around here, so you have to push this tab in and pull this out. Okay, and then take all the tape off. There was a piece of foam right here. Here's where it's going to auto empty the dustbin. Here's where it charges it. This is a sensor to help it back up. This is where it fills the robot up with water, alignment pins. This is the dirty water suction tube. The hot water is going to come out of these two ports right here, and then it's going to blow hot air onto the mop pads when it's all done. I like that I can take this whole tray. It's not going to leak. I can take this to the sink. This will get dirty because it's going to, the robot's going to spin the mop pads, and then the base station is going to put hot water down these little troughs. It's going to clean them. The water is going to fall down and get sucked up into the dirty water tank. And at the end of the job, it's going to blow hot air onto them to help dry them, prevent odor. Now, as the mop pads are spinning, this part's also going to spin. It's not driven by a motor or anything. The rope, you can see it kind of angles up and then down. So as the mop pad is spinning on this, it's going to spin this, and there's a wiper on there. So if we can take this off, these come off, and there is a left and a right. But if we look, one of the legs down has some wiper. So what that's going to do is, as it's spinning, all the dirt's going to collect down here. So it's going to wipe this, and water is going to be coming down and hopefully be directed back to the back. Now, you will have to clean this once in a while. It does I imagine it's going to do a good job, but we're going to still have to clean this. But it's very easy to take this over to the sink. There is a little float here to let you know if this is backed up and the dirty water is not sucking the dirty water out. And then you just simply push it back. That dirty water suction hose will go right where it needs to. This is ready to go. We do have a status light here. Now we're going to open up the dustbin. So pull from the bottom. You're going to add the Ecovacs solution to here. Okay, this is where you add the concentrated Ecovacs solution. And then this is the dust bag. You'll have to change that dust bag about every, 2 to 3 months. Pull the tab. You know, looks like a pretty solid bag. And then take the new one, slide it in, make sure it's flush. Take this, put the top ears in, rotate, and click it into place. Now over to the robot. We're going to take this off. Now here's the power switch. It does have LiDAR navigation. It's spinning LiDAR, but it's down here. And the LiDAR signal is going to come out the side, as we can see. It does have a camera on the front for obstacle avoidance. And it also has the bumper. So this has LiDAR navigation. So it's going to map your house. And after it maps your house, then it's going to vacuum and mop in nice straight lines. But if there's something heavy in front of it that activates the bumper, then it will tell it to go the other way. And again, this is just one single button up here. We do have a side sensor. The side brush can extend, which we're going to install that here in a second. Around back. Another sensor for helping it back up. Charging points, alignment pins. This is where it fills the water, the internal water tank. The robot has an internal water tank that it can spray water onto the mop pads. This is where it auto empties the dust bin. So the robot's going to go around and vacuum your house. Again, you just got to kind of open this up. This comes all the way off. There is a power switch here and a Wi-Fi reset switch. So eventually we'll have to move this from the 0 position to the line position when we're ready. Pinch this tab right here. We can take this out. This is the dust bin. So the robot's going to vacuum your house. Everything's going to go into here. When the robot's done, it's going to go back to the base station, and then the base station is going to suck everything out of the dust bin through this little trap door right here. You will have to clean this filter. It is reusable. So you can just rinse it off, let it dry, and put it back. Looks like a nice dustbin. There's where the air comes in when it's sucking it out. All right, simply just put it back, click it into place, put the front ears in, and that snaps in. Okay, the robot, 13.5 inches wide. Now, the manual says it's 3.19 inches tall, so it doesn't have anything else. The tallest part is this front bumper. Yeah, I'd say about 3.125 inches tall. Kind of look at the profile. The bumper is going to be the tallest part. Okay, let's spin it. Let's turn it over on this back. Let's install the side brush. Again, be careful. This is kind of fragile because it can extend it, but we do need to just snap this on. So I'm going to kind of hold. I don't want to press super there. It's snapped onto place. Now here, the mop pads come installed. Okay, now the robot can lift the mop pads up and down, and it can move one of the mop pads out to the side to mop right against the wall. Now, these mop pads you will have to replace once in a while. They're very easy, just held on with Velcro. Now, the base station is going to wash these with hot water and then dry them with hot air when it's done. Here's where the water comes out right here from the internal water tank. And again, you can take this one. It can move them up and down because it has a carpet sensor. And it can move them up and down 8.9 millimeters or 0.35 inches. Both mop pads are the same. And again, it can move them up and down. Now, let's take a look at the brush roller. Pinch these tabs. It's a single piece brush roller. Now, you will get some hair wrap on this brush roller, but they do have a comb down here that's going to try to help get some of the long hairs off of this brush roller. So as it's turning the brush roller, the long hairs, hopefully the comb will grab them and send them into the dustbin. Drive wheels, side brush we talked about earlier. Now here's the carpet sensor. So when this senses carpet, it's going to show you where the carpet is in the app, and it's going to lift these mop pads and turn the water tank off. These are cliff sensors, so it doesn't fall down your stairs. You'll have to clean those about every 30 hours. This wheel just spins free. If you do get some hair wrap around there, you can take that wheel off. Okay, let's take the clean water tank. Let's fill it up. Okay, so there it is at the max line. Whoops. I think that leaks. Yeah. Okay. I got the tank for the solution. Ecovacs does sell their own cleaning solution. Now, I am working on a video I've been testing all kinds of other cleaning solutions. These look like real big winners, the Shark and the Bona and the Bissell. But I'm working on a video that if we can just add our own cleaning solutions to the clean water tank, or if they have these tanks, if we can add them to this. So look for that coming really soon. It's just taking a long time because there's so much testing. I'm not filling this up in case I got to send it back. I'll have to empty it out. Okay, clean water tank is heavy. Now there's some prep work on the dirty water tank. Let's go over here. These are my next robots I'm reviewing. I got the Dream L40S. But what I like to do, so I'm going to put a link. You're going to need a brush. This is from Walmart, $5. And I used to use Listerine, but now I've been using these Effordent tablets. And these have been working out really well. So the dirty water tank, these things, if you're new to robot vacuum cleaners, every time it washes the mops, it puts about that much dirty water in here. So over time, this will fill up. But during that time, the bacteria starts to grow and these things will stink. So these Effordent tablets, just throw one in there. It'll dissolve when the water starts to come in and then it won't stink. It kills the bacteria. Or you can take a little bit of Listerine mouthwash and spray it in there. That also does the trick. I'm trying out new cleaners. I think I'm going to start using some bathroom cleaners. You got to be able to clean these tanks. They just get so dirty and stinky. Okay, I got the dock plugged in. The white light's on. I would like for that to turn red if something was out of the ordinary, but we'll see. That's in. That's in. All right, this is ready to go. Let's go set the robot up. If I failed to mention, it has to be up against the wall. You don't want these really close to your steps. You need about a foot clear on either side of it and about 3 or 4 feet clear in front of it. I might have this a little close. Now, I always like when they come with a really good manual. Now, it doesn't explain everything, but I do like that it can get you started and has some good information. So now let's turn the robot on. We're going to slide this switch to the on position. I think this light is breathing. Let's go to the Ecovacs app. Okay, so we got if you're new to this, you do have to create a username. Ooh, that's loud. You have to create a username and password, but the app is free to use. So scan to connect.
Thanks for choosing the Ecovacs robot.
All right, give it access to your camera. And then up here, there's a QR code right here. So you're going to take your camera and point it at this QR code. Now it's going to say, I've switched it on, so click this and hit next. I heard this, nope. You got to press this button for 1 second, okay? Press that button, right? That's a Wi-Fi reset button. 1 second.
Ready for network setup.
Okay, let go. Say, I heard, hit next. Next, you're going to select your Wi-Fi, give it your Wi-Fi password, and then you have to hit join. This robot's going to transmit a Wi-Fi signal that your tablet needs to connect to or your phone, and then hopefully it will connect back to your normal Wi-Fi. This should all be automatic.
Connected. Please go back to the app to
and we're looking for 3 check marks. Yeah, this is flashing.
Network connection successful.
It should, now it's solid. We should get 3. This has been all automatic up to this point. Good. Let's name it. You can give it any name you'd like.
Hi, I'm your Ecovacs AI voice assistant.
Let's go dock it. I like that it's not super heavy. Okay, put it on the floor. Now let's just push it back. Again, the camera's up front, and you should hear charging.
Start charging.
Yeah, you want to make sure you hear that. That way you know you have it docked correctly. Okay, it's going to walk us through some things. I don't like this wake up word. I'll hit next. I'm going to turn that off eventually. Set the time zone. And you can change these later. Yep, that's me, Chicago. Confirm. Language. English. Next. This is going to be do not disturb yet. This is important. I would definitely put this on. So 2200 is 10 o'clock to 8 in the morning. Yep. And there's a firmware update. Now you don't have to do it. You could hit ignore, which I like, but I'm going to update. I do recommend doing the update. They do typically fix things that, need fixed. And so I do recommend doing the update. Now during the update, those lights are red. And it doesn't look like it's taking very long. We're almost done. It's only been a couple minutes. Okay, that maybe took 5 minutes. We're done. Okay, now the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna map your house. It does come with 72% charge, which is enough. Pop-ups here. Okay, and then after we map our house, we'll edit the map and then we'll go through the settings. But right now, let's just map, open up your doors, start map, and kind of pick up toys, dog toys, and then kind of put furniture where it typically may be. Now, even if you leave a door closed, this thing should update the map if it's, after it's been cleaning for, say the next time it cleans, that door is open and it was closed during mapping, it should figure out there's a new room there and update it. But this is the best part. Sit back, watch this. It's going to create the map in real time. I mean, it just randomly goes through your house, so don't follow it. But it is really cool how it creates a map, and that's that LiDAR navigation. So this usually doesn't take more than 10, 20 minutes, depending on how big your house is. You can just let it do its thing and then come back later. Okay, so that did not take very long at all. Now we got to edit the map. So hit next. It's just kind of walking you through some explanatory things. Okay, so let's edit the map. It did a really good job of mapping. That's actually really good. So let's edit the map. Now let's divide up a room. So I want to hit divide this room. Now there's a blue line. I can move that blue line and I can pinch and zoom my map. So I want to divide right there is where I want to divide. Hit the little green check mark and I'm good to go. 2 different rooms, 2 different colors. That looks good. I want to divide this room. So this is going really nice so far. Map editing's good. Okay, let's name. Hit the name button right here. I do recommend using the names they provide because they clean the rooms differently. Like if it's a kitchen, or some do, some don't. But the more expensive ones will clean the room differently if it knows it's a kitchen or something. Like this one here, this one is let's just call it a dining room. So take your time, edit the map, divide up the rooms, and give them names. This will just help you in the future, and you can also do this later. So virtual walls, all right, and no-go zones, and you have no mop zones. Okay, good. So first, let's add. You're going to pick whether you want it to be linear, which is a line, or rectangular. So let's do a rectangular, and the default is no-go. So the robot will stay completely away from this area. Move it back here. I know in this room, I have a computer desk. Now it's a little hard to see where it's at, but I have a computer desk there that it kind of struggles with. Other robots do, so I imagine this one will too. And then you can add these later. If the robot keeps getting stuck on some furniture or things, just add a no-go zone. So let's add a line. That's more of to keep it out of a room. You can put that at the entry to a door or something. Let's do a rectangle. Let's do a no mop zone. Again, you may not know these right away. It's going to identify where the carpet is. See these lines? That's carpet. So have it clean your entire house first. I'm not going to add any no mop zones. And then it's going to show you where the carpet is. And then if you notice that it's mopping certain areas that it shouldn't be, then put a no-go zone. So it won't mop that area, but it will vacuum that area. Combine rooms. Furniture, I don't get into this too much. You can show it where the bed, the sofa is. That's, I just don't do a whole lot of that. All right, I can move the walls. I can edit a wall. I've never found where I needed to do that. Material. So this is an important one. Click on the material, like right here. Now, you want this to clean in the floor direction. So here I have my floor. The direction of the hardwood floor is this way. You don't want it to clean this way because it'll put stuff in the grooves, you want it to clean in the direction of the floor. Now, we can show it what direction that is. Now, this is wrong. First I need to pick, it is wood. There's tile, tanami, and marble. Now I can flip it, click this little blue circle. Now that's the direction the floor is going. Same with this one. Flip it. The direction of the hardwood floor is that way. And you can always change this at a later time, but take your time. Again, have it do a full clean. See, right now, it doesn't know exactly where all the carpet is. Oh, I like my map to be straight. There. Okay, so we've got, and then the same thing with carpet. You can show it where the carpet is, but let it clean your house first and then go back and fine tune where the carpet is. It has a carpet sensor on it. So as it's cleaning, it's going to update the map where the carpet is. Threshold and ramp. So I don't know exactly how big of a threshold this can do. It's hard to find some of this information. I need to move this. Okay. I don't like that my map keeps turning. I like my map to be straight. Oh, there it is. So pinch, zoom. Now I gotta rotate this. You can make it wider. No, just longer. You can't make it wider. So hit a check mark. Threshold or ramp? Oh, that's called the threshold ramp. Oh, that's not where a threshold is. That's where like a threshold, they want you to put a ramp. I need to learn more about that. So if you got delete an area. Okay, so we went over all the settings and I can rotate the map 90 degrees, but we're good. So there's my map. Let's go through the recommended settings. This does have a video camera on the front. You can activate the video camera. You have to give it a passcode. Okay, so let's click the settings, user manual, cleaning log is right here. It's going to tell you what it's cleaned. Put it on a schedule. The number one thing I tell people to do is have it clean your entire house once a week and have it mop your floors at least once a week. Scenarios, I don't do much with. So maintenance, this is where it's going to tell you when it's time to change the side brush. Looks like you can actually do the purchase. You will have to reset. The timer is, purchase is, that's not the reset. That, it says replace. That's going to reset the timer. Brush, filter. Filter, you're going to have to clean that filter with the dustbin every couple of weeks. That thing's pretty small on this one, so I imagine every couple of weeks. That's when you need to replace it. Under 20 hours. You're not going to get a reminder to tell you to clean that one. Other maintenance, I mean, these are the sensors. This one you have every 30 hours, it says. Mopping pads every 150 hours. So this is really nice. Dust bag, says it's good. Doesn't give us the hours. And the cleaning solution. Okay. Advanced settings. Sequence. Oh, I love when it, so pick the sequence you want it to clean your house. I love this feature. Some robots don't have this. So let's do corner tests, this one, then the kitchen, then this. You can kind of work. So if it starts in the morning, have it start away from your room. And then as you come out into the kitchen, it'll have the kitchen done and then it can work its way back so it's not bothering you. Auto resume. I like to have this on, but make sure you have do not disturb on. Otherwise, this thing will go back and charge and it could start at 2 or 3 in the morning and scare you. Clean along floor direction. So since we picked our floor direction, I'm going to have it clean in floor direction, so I need to turn that on. Ability to enter low height areas. So since this is really thin, I would leave it on the anti-stucking passage. You can have it go under even thinner things, but it may get stuck. Now, suction boost on carpet. That's on by default, but I typically turn mine off because even though you want that increased suction when it's on carpet, it tends to be a little annoying. Clean carpet first. So if you wanted to clean your carpets, which I recommend putting this on before it ever washes the mop pads. Now, it cannot detach the mop pads. So if you don't have this setting on it's going to wash the mop pads, and then when it encounters carpet, it raises them up. Now, carpet like this, it's going to be dragging the mop pads on there. So if they're wet, you could get some potential staining or something. So I would definitely turn that on first. Deep cleaning carpet, I don't really turn that on. It just cleans the carpet in a zigzag pattern. Carpet recognition. I leave it on standard, but if it's not recognizing your carpets, you could put it on sensitivity. It says it's for ultra thin carpets. AI intelligent hosting. So this is off by default. Now, should you turn it on? They don't tell us a whole lot about this. If you turn it on, then you have access to it and it wants you to use it, and it's going to kind of figure everything out for you. You can turn that on. In my first look, I'm not going to be turning that on. Now, deep mopping. The robot will automatically remop the dirty areas detected. I don't know if this is from the docking station sensing the dirty water or the robot. Automatically identify and avoid obstacles. So this is on by default. They don't tell us a lot about it. I'm going to leave it on. Adaptive edge cleaning, smart edge and retract side brush and mop for edges and corners. Now, why would they say? Smart extend and retract side brush and mop for edges and corners. It's on. I'm going to leave it on. Child lock and about. So there's where the update was. I do recommend turning automatic updates on. Time zone, name, square units. Okay, so we've been through these. Okay, the advanced settings we've been through. Station advanced settings. This is the docking station. Auto empties on. High frequency. I definitely recommend leaving that on. You could put it there where it doesn't auto empty as much. Now you can have it auto empty quiet or standard. I leave it in standard. Forced operation without water. The robot will not wash the mop during cleaning when the water tank is short of water. I'm not even sure why that's there. Just leave that off. Wash method. Standard, eco, deep. I would just leave it in standard. If you have really soiled areas, it said put it on deep. Okay, this is going to be an important setting. Mop auto wash frequency. By room or by time. Now, if you don't want the bath, say if this thing goes and cleans your bathroom and then your kitchen, you could change the order. But if you don't want the bathroom mop pad water to be mixed in with the kitchen, you would do by room. That way, after it cleaned the bathroom, it would wash the mop pad and then go clean the kitchen. Or by time. Now, if you set it on 10 minutes, every 10 minutes it's going to go back and rewash the mop, 15 or 25. Granted, every 10, your house may be cleaner, but it's going to use a lot more water. Hot air drying duration, 2, 3, or 4 hours. I leave it on 2. Off-peak charging. Intelligent addition of cleaning solution. That is on. About station. Looks like it has a software version. I don't like this. I turned mine off. I know there's lots of commands, and I'm sure it just seems like a weird saying. Live view settings. You have to give it a password, and then you can view, turn that on. Display settings. So you can display the furniture, layout, name. Help. That just takes you, frequently asked questions. Lab. Now these, I typically don't turn these on. I don't recommend turning them on just because they say lab, and we don't know if they're working the best. So strategic particle, on detecting dirt particles, slow down to the spinning and side, without kicking it. Sounds good. Strategic cleaning of stains. This is where it uses the front camera, will automatically identify stains and perform. And it's got this thing here that says due to light angles and stuff, it may not recognize stains. So I think most people are going to leave it in the default settings and not mess with that. Product improvement plan, I'm not going to do that. Device relocation. I guess if you're you can empty the clean water tank. You can add water lines to it and drain. I've never seen that though. Find my robot as a square down here, share and delete if you want to delete the robot. Okay. All through the settings. Now, since I did not add that AI version of cleaning, it's not going to be available. So if you click that on, you're going to have that available. But if we swipe up, it's going to do a whole house clean like this, auto clean. Now we have vacuum only, mop only, vacuum and mop after vacuum. That's important. That way it doesn't wet the mop pad. It'll vacuum everywhere and then mop. 4 levels of suction. Now, water flow. Okay, we got lots of water flow. All the way to 1, all the way up to 50. It says on shiny floors you could get a lot of streaking. So we'll leave it down around there. Cleaning speed, standard, deep, and quick. And cleaning passes. You can't do 2 cleaning passes on the entire house, but when you get to the rooms, you can. So let's scroll down, and then when you have access to the station too. So click this. I can tell it to empty the dustbin, wash the mop, or dry, or stop drying. This is important when it comes to multi-level homes because you're going to have to manually do these buttons. You're going to pick the robot up, take it to the upstairs or downstairs, but before you do that, you'll wash the mop, and then you'll take it up there, it'll do its thing, bring it back, and you'll have to manually start the wash, or empty the dustbin, wash the mop, and dry the mop pad. So we can do zone cleaning. So let's do this. You can add this blue area. You can tell it how you want that cleaned. Add another one. Pick how you want it cleaned. Go back to this by picking here. Or the room function's a little tricky. There is no room button, but if you are on your map and you select a room, see how it has the number 1 by it, and then I could pick 2. It's going to clean those 2 rooms in that order. I could do that. So there is no room button for say. I do miss that. I wish it had rooms, all, and zone. But if nothing is selected, it'll do the whole house. But once I select one, it says one area is selected. So that's kind of how you know. And then it's going to clean that accordingly. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the world famous Just a Dad Cleaning Studio. We're going to do vacuum and mop. Let's do strong suction. Let's do a deep cleaning pattern. I'll set it on 1 pass. I just want to see if the dirt detection sensor is going to work. If I know it's really dirty, I could put it on 2, but okay. Okay, so that did not take long at all. And now it's going to go and clean that room. Okay, we're going to see how well the Ecovacs T50 cleans this room. Wow, it's doing a good job in the corner. You can extend that side brush and the mop pad. And it can go under furniture. We're going to test the obstacle avoidance with this cable and that kid's toy, Lego toy over there. Ooh, it looks like it did see the cable. It's a little closer than I would like for it to, but it is avoiding the cable. Wow, it can extend that side brush and the mop pad. Okay, so now that it did the perimeter of the room first, it's going to go back and forth in the nice straight lines. And I told it what direction my wood floors were laying, and it can clean in that direction of the floor. That's doing a really good job. So it is recognizing that kid's toy and it's going to go around it. Wow, it's doing a good job. Wow. Okay, let's check some dynamic obstacle avoidance. Let's say the dog just walked in and took a big dump. Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty incredible. Okay, I'm super excited about this. It's, you know, it's doing a great job. I don't know how else to say it. I'm kind of speechless. It was Ecovacs. I wasn't expecting a whole lot after the X9 was such an underperformer. This thing is, now I got a lot of testing to go, but wow, is this room clean? That corner's clean. Obstacle avoidance is awesome. I mean, I can't stress enough. I'm anxious to see if we get an auto remopping event. So I'm filming today on my iPhone. I was using a Samsung phone for a long time, but now today I've switched over to an iPhone 15 Pro Max. And I've got it on steady shot. I'm trying to make the shot look good. This thing is pretty cool. Again, lot to go yet, but this is a major step in the right direction. I mean, this is the world famous Just a Dad Studios corner testing area that a lot of robots fail. I'll be taking this to the house. I got to do a 3-month real world test on it. And it's avoiding that dog waste. That's really hard to avoid, and that can be too.
Cleaning completed. Return to station.
I want to get out of its way. Had to cough, sorry.
Start charging. About to start to empty the dust bin.
It sounded like it sucked everything out. You can just tell when things work right. See, I have a good feeling about this. Like things are just kind of clicking, it's working. I can tell that auto empty went very well. You can just hear it sucked everything out. Here, now it doesn't take pictures of obstacles. It does have a camera, but it doesn't take pictures. So, and I can't get rid of this pop-up here, but that's little stuff. And again, it should be done, but I'm going to see if it's going to do an auto remopping event. Right there it says it's washing them up, so we'll see. Sometimes this is hit or miss, and again, maybe it has to be in that artificial intelligence mode. I wish that wasn't a setting. I wish that was here. I could pick custom or artificial intelligence. I don't like having to go into the settings and do it, but we'll check the long hair, see if we got some long hair wrap now. That typical brush roller is the same as the X9. It struggles with long hair. That side brush was amazing though. I just like spinning mop pads. I think they clean in more areas and they clean just as good. I've got several videos on the X9 where they rave about that brush roller, that it's taking the dirty water off of it, but it doesn't. It's smearing it just like this. Because I got a video on the X9. Where does the dirty water go? It doesn't go into the dirty water tank. I want to put a sticker on it so bad right now.
Starting hot air drying.
It didn't do a remix again. Maybe I have to have it in that artificial intelligence mode. I would have loved to have seen a. I mean, it actually didn't need a remodel. Well, I did a little bit, but. There. Yeah, again, it's a setting. I don't like that it's a setting. There, I got this on. I think this is the auto remopping. I could have had the beta version on again. I just don't like doing that. Okay, so this is going to earn a Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. That can also be taken off. We're looking at a $600 price point. Well, I'll have to be comparing to the Mova P10 Pro. This reminds me a lot like a Mova P10 or a Dream L40. So, and those are around $500. So there's the hot air. It's not really loud. Let's pull this out. Let's just examine it first. I'm excited about this. I felt good about this one. This price may come down. And again, this may only be available to certain people. Yeah, auto empty went really well. Wish the filter was a little bigger. I think robots with bigger dustbin filters have a longer life between cleanings. Lots of water down here, but that's definitely warm. And there's the start of the dirty water. Yeah, you'll have to clean this, but cleanup is easy. I mean, I don't mind this. I got to take this to the sink and clean it. A little bit more water down there than I would like to see. They all leave a little bit of water. There's that tablet. The water's green because of that tablet that I put in there. Effordent denture cleaning tablets help prevent odor. So it's hard to see the dirty water, but. And if I'm being nitpicky, I like physical buttons, and I like more than one button. I don't like having to figure out what one button does. I like home button, clean button. Being nitpicky.
Start charging.
Something I just noticed, this thing failed the other day. It said the brush roller was stuck. I wonder if it was stuck up here. I just noticed it was like right here. I don't know, I got more testing to do on this. It keeps failing, like it just keeps randomly being stuck in certain areas. Okay, this is, if I had it on 2 passes, what little is left, it would have gotten. No, this is good. Forgot to check the brush roller and the mop pads. Oh, good, no long hair. Good. It does okay with normal long hairs, as long as when I do a torture test, it could, I put a lot of long hairs down. Sometimes they do get wrapped around.
Start charging.
Okay, let's go do the carpet torture test. Again, this is the first look. I got a bunch of long hairs. We'll put some obstacles down and see how it cleans this carpet. Okay, I'm gonna tell it to clean the carpet. I'm gonna do a zone clean. Vacuum only, maximum suction. I'll play with this so you can hear what it sounds like. Deep cleaning pattern in 2 passes. On the second pass, we'll check for the pet waste. Okay, let's see how the Ecovacs T50 cleans up this big mess on the carpet. Right now, it's doing the straight lines back and forth. It's already done the perimeter of the room first. Wow, it's doing a good job of cleaning. Now it does have a carpet sensor on it, and it can lift the mop pads almost 9 millimeters. Now there's also a setting in the app where you can have it vacuum carpet first before it mops. And since it has LiDAR navigation, it's going back and forth making the nice straight lines. It knows right where it's at. It divides your house up into different rooms. It's got a really slim profile. The LiDAR is in the front. It's not on top, which makes it 3.14 inches tall. Wow, it's doing a good job of vacuuming. So it looks like it is recognizing that cable. It's getting a little close to it, but it did recognize it and it is avoiding it. It does have a camera on the front. And I can turn the suction down. There's strong, there's standard, and then there's quiet. So yeah, it's getting a little close. I would want it to stay away from that cable more than that. But there it is on quiet suction power. It is really quiet. Now it doesn't suck up as much dirt and debris off the floor, but it's doing a relatively good job for being on quiet. Whoops, now it's getting way too close. Okay, so the obstacle avoidance, it was able to avoid this on, let's pause it. It was able to avoid this on hardwood floor. Just, yeah, it got wrapped in the wheel there. All right.
Continue cleaning.
So I put the suction back to strong. It's still relatively quiet. Okay, so it's wrapping up the first pass. I threw some, let's say the dog came in and had an accident. This is an amazing cleaning that it's doing. I've got it on the deep cleaning so that it's a really tight pattern, but I'm in shock how well it's cleaning. And it actually was cleaning pretty good when it was on that low setting. So don't be afraid to put it on the low setting. But I've got this on 2 passes. So the first pass is going to be left, right. The second pass will be up, down. As I look at this carpet, there's a little bit left, but it's definitely going to get it on the second cleaning. Again, here's the cleaning pattern. Again, I wish it took pictures of the obstacles, and I wish it would have avoided that cable a little bit better, but. So it just randomly went to the middle of the room. I'm not sure why. So it looks like it is avoiding it. It still gets pretty close, but for 600 bucks, this is pretty good. There's robots that cost twice as much that do almost the same, but some do a little bit better. Mova V50's probably got the best obstacle avoidance right now, but it's quite twice as much. So it looks like it is avoiding that. I think it came back to finish up this area for some reason. Yeah, that's where it missed the cable. So it's kind of coming back to that area where the cable was. And I'm anxious to see if it does the perimeter of the room for the second cleaning. Again, this is the deep cleaning. All right, I think it's doing the perimeter first. Yeah, it's doing the perimeter before it does the second cleaning. Good. Now, it may not do that on the standard cleaning pattern, but, oh no, maybe, no, it just did okay. So it did not do that. It did not do the perimeter on the second cleaning. It's now just going up and down, making the straight lines. I'm noticing that side brush is just kind of acting like sometimes it'll just move out that right-hand side or that right-hand mop pad. Not that it's that big a deal, but I do think these mop pads don't drag as much as others. Even though it has the same 9mm lift, Roborock's have 10mm lift. It seems like the Roborock is more angled and the back is down more, where this one seems its angle is towards the front. Like the front's lower than the back, so if that makes any sense. But I do like in the settings, you can have it vacuum first before it even wets the mop pad. So, and again, it does have spinning LiDAR. It's just in the front. Hard to see. It's right there underneath the cameras. Okay, I'm on the floor. I want to show you that LiDAR. There it is. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, see it there? It's spinning. It thinks I'm in front of it. Sorry, it thinks I'm causing it problems. think it's going to avoid that dog waste. Does not like me being around it. For some reason, it got lost. It didn't like me being around it. It had to do a calibration. And then for some reason, it switched to auto clean the entire house. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I know I was getting too close to it down here. And it just kind of it started going over here. And I thought, well, I'll just pause it and then start it again, and it'll recalibrate itself. And it tried, and it spent about 5 minutes kind of going around the room, and it couldn't recalibrate. So I'm not going to hold that against it, but it should. I know that front-facing LiDAR can be tricky. It is, whenever it's calibrating, you'll see it. It is kind of constantly spinning. That's so that it can use that LiDAR. If the LiDAR was on top, I think it would calibrate a little quicker and easier. But it did avoid that dog waste, but I'm just not able to get finish the second cleaning here. But let's just, yeah, it's all out of right. Yeah, that thing's full. Let's go empty it. And again, what do you, double tap? I need to read the directions.
Continue cleaning.
Let's just tell it to go to the dock.
Task ended.
See, it
Back to station.
never figured out again where it was. So I'll have to keep an eye on this. It's little, it can't find, I've picked it up a couple times, which you would normally do sometimes. If it got stuck, you might pick it up and set it over there and then tell it to start again, and then it's going to recalibrate. So I didn't do anything that normally you wouldn't do sometimes, but it is just having a hard time. So I'll have to keep an eye on this. Yeah, it just can't figure out where it's like it's right here. But I've seen this where it has the calibrating screen, and then it kind of figures out, oh yeah, I'm here, and then it goes right back to showing up on the map. So you can see it. Okay, looks like it did eventually find its way home, and it's gonna.
About to start to empty the dustbin.
And we'll check the dustbin, make sure it emptied. Oh yeah, look at that. Excellent. And it's not very loud when it empties the dustbin. Good. Oh, hair wrap. No hair wrap. Actually did a really good job. Yeah, there's a few starting, but nothing too bad. That was a pretty big test. So, not too bad. I like the split brush rollers from Roborock and Dream and Mova. The combs seem like they're kind of old school. Maybe some confetti got down there. I don't know.
Start charging.
Next video, I got this from Costco, but it doesn't look like a buy. There's very little information on this $500 Costco robot, Dream Ecovacs 400. And the specs I'm seeing, it's going to be an okay robot, but not a $500 robot. Dream L40S coming up soon. This is a brand new robot. I just bought this. It's like $1,600. Working on a big video, what cleaning solutions you can use with robot vacuum cleaners. Right now it's looking like the Shark solution, Bissell, and Bona are doing the best. So I have the Dream L50, a brand new robot. They're just coming out with so many brand new ones. And I just brought these from my house. I did the 3-month real world test on the Dream L40 and Mova P10 Pro. I got to do the videos, but they're really dirty. We're going to cut the dust bags open. We're going to do all the maintenance. And the Dream L10S Gen 2. These were extremely popular during Amazon Prime days. Highly recommended from me. They sold a lot of units. And these all three performed flawlessly at my house. So these are still highly recommended by me. Check out my website, justadadapproved.com, where you can find a link to these. So again, I really do appreciate everybody's support. If you click on a link from my website or in the video or the little pop-up in the video, it'll take you to either Amazon, Walmart, or it could take you to like the Roborock website. I don't think it'll take you to maybe Ecovacs too. YouTube has their own shopping program now. So we're able to put links in the description, which I generate those. I put those in there and that'll take you to Walmart or Amazon. But YouTube has a program now where I can say, okay, this is a Ecovacs T50, and they'll put a pop-up in the video and I can place that where I want. And then if you click on that, it takes you to probably the Ecovacs website. And I still earn a small commission from that sale. So these are all ways of helping support my channel. Again, I bought this with my own money, this T50 over here. Right there's the box. And I do appreciate everybody's support. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to take, it's past the first step of my studio. It's doing a good job so far, relatively. Now I got to take it to my house and see how it does. There I can keep a really close eye on it. So Ecovacs X9, I don't think it's ever going to get my Just Add sticker seal approval. It's just, I don't like that design. That X9 and X8 design, I don't like that design. It feels off to me. And this T50 design, I was nervous, but it doesn't feel off to me. The design feels good. It feels solid. It's like it's going to navigate well, other than it didn't navigate. So anyway, and I've been working on a video for people want to know robots that just vacuum, that are bagless. This was a big topic on my videos, lots of comments. So right now it's the Ecovacs N20. I'm looking at it right now. The N20 Plus right here. It's got a mopping attachment. Just don't put it's not a mop. Just throw the mopping attachment away. It's a good vacuum. And it is bagless. And it got Just a Dead sticker seal of approval yesterday. So again, I got to take that to my house, really put it through the test. T50, and then I got the Mova V50 at my house right now. It's doing really well. It's so quiet. And I took the Roborock Q10S5. These numbers are so weird. And it's doing good. I had some concerns because I highly recommended that during Prime Days. And I did some testing, but it was so new, I wasn't able to take it to my house yet. And I saw some complaints and I'm like, oh, I gotta get this to my house. And what I did notice is if the mop pad's installed, it does have a little trouble navigating on carpet. So whenever it's on carpet, make sure the mop pad's off. I know it can lift the mop pad, so you want to leave it on, but it does a lot better job when the mop pad's off, and only when you're mopping on hardwood floors then use it. And the base station should really be on hardwood floor, or a hard surface. And the base station on carpet, it can struggle a little bit. So I should have warned people about that. I apologize. Those were just so newer robots. I was barely able to get how to set it up the first look out before those things went on a huge discount for Amazon Prime Day. So it's doing really good. It just has a little bump in the road, I think. And I'll put a video out like best practices for this Roborock Q10S5. They got 4 models. They got an S5 and an X5. The Plus means it has a self-empty base station, which is awesome. But that's a $300 robot. You start getting into 400, 500, you're going to look at a Mova P50, Dream L40. This is so I got to think about this. This T50, $600. Okay. That's typical for a $600 robot. I think it's going to be okay. Definitely don't pay $800-900. That's not an $800-900 robot. And with Ecovacs, they do love to put their stuff on sale, so I imagine that may go on sale cheaper than this. I don't know. Again, I really appreciate everybody's support. If you could like and subscribe, check out my website, justadadapproved.com.